CTV News at 6 with Joe Perkins.
Good evening. Thank you for being here on this Saturday, September the 1st. We are getting a better picture tonight of what the start of the fall semester could look like for students at the University of Victoria. On Wednesday, more than 1,300 support staff ranging from bookstore employees to cooks, janitors, even groundskeepers will begin job action. At the same time, students, many new to Victoria, will be settling into campus and could be searching for classes buried behind picket lines. Cupe Locals 951 and 917 served 72-hour strike notice yesterday, kicking off the countdown until 8 a.m. Wednesday, when workers will be in a position to take job action. The notice came after the Labor Relations Board announced its decision over what constitutes an essential service in the event of a strike. Food services was not on that list. It's still unclear what services will be pulled on Wednesday, but the unions say there will be some form of strike.
We're committing that on Wednesday we have to do something as far as job action because of our 72 hours notice. There will not be a complete withdrawal of services at UVic on Wednesday. It will be something that targets administrative buildings. Our issues are job security and inflation protection, and we're looking to get the attention of the senior administration to get back to the bargaining table. We're not looking to disrupt students.
The workers have been without a contract since 2010. Local 917 represents several support staff, including janitors, housekeepers, and food services. The union president says if there is a decision to pull services, it will be made sometime late Tuesday. The workers have been without a contract since 2010 and are pushing for more job security. With the strike notice now served, it means picket lines will likely go up on campus Wednesday, the same day students begin the fall semester.
I think students at this point should be putting pressure on the university to get back to the bargaining table. We feel that it's important to bring an end to this labor disruption so students can follow through with their year.
The move-in date for students in residence is tomorrow. For now, the job action does not have an end date on Wednesday. Nearly 27,000 government employees will also take job action as the BCGEU and supporting unions fight for increased wages with the province. Traffic in and out of Souk is back to normal tonight after West Coast Road was shut down for nearly 6 hours last night after a horrific accident to start the long weekend. Just after 7 last night, emergency crews responded to the 8700 block of West Coast Road after two vehicles collided head-on. Police say a 26-year-old man was driving a Jeep Cherokee when it crossed the center line, colliding with a red truck that was sent into the ditch. Inside the truck, a 65-year-old man, his wife, and their two granddaughters.
I pulled one girl out the back window first, and she was about, she could have been 5 to 7. She was in pretty rough shape, and we just sort of left her with a couple of bystanders that had some first aid training, and jumped back in to see what I could do for the other two that were in there. And
all 5 people involved in the crash were conscious when the crews arrived. All 5 were airlifted to Victoria General Hospital. Home video sent to CTV News shows just how far traffic was backed up.
The lineup, it looks like it's about a kilometer long, people waiting to get by. Some folks are even camping on the beach now. It's going to be a couple hours yet.
West Coast Road was reopened at 1 a.m. this morning. Police are investigating the crash but say drugs and alcohol are not believed to be factors. Conservation officers, along with police, continue to search for cougars that may be moving closer to town. Just before 7 last night, SAANICH police received more than one report of a large cougar in the 400 block of Sparton Rd. Conservation officers and a team of tracking dogs tried to track down the large cat. The sighting is the 4th in the last 2 days. Police say there was no reports of any aggressive behavior.
Not aggressive, but there's been so many cases of livestock, goats and sheep, getting attacked and killed recently that we had the conservation officers contacted immediately, and they came out with their tracking dogs, but they were unable to locate the cat.
Last week, at least 13 animals were killed in the central Saanich area by cougars. Conservation officers called it a massacre in the farming community. Well, the committee tasked with finding solutions to the Capital Region's deer problems has released its recommendations in a new report. The 168-page report lays out several suggestions, including letting hunters kill more deer and the possible use of sharpshooters. After 14 meetings, the Citizens Advisory Group's report breaks down the region's options into 3 areas: agricultural, rural, and urban. Some of the suggestions also include landscaping alternatives, deer-resistant plant repellents, delegating provincial authority to local government to deal with aggressive deer, and the idea of improved fencing and barriers. The report also suggests deer could be captured and euthanized. On Wednesday, the report will be discussed at a special CRD meeting. Well, there's a troubling trend growing in the Cowichan Valley. Police say car thefts are on the rise. Most of the reports involve valuables left out in vehicles. The thefts also seem to be occurring in the early evening. Police are reminding the public to lock their car doors and ensure the windows of their vehicles are secure. Now to 3-year-old Hannah Day, who continues to capture thousands of hearts. Hannah's battle with cancer has briefly moved back to Vancouver Island, where the 3-year-old is spending time with family and friends. And while they're together, the support from the community continues to grow. For Hannah, a fundraising car wash means a rare break from the hospital. Hannah spent several weeks this summer in and out of walk-in clinics and the emergency room. The little girl has a 15-centimeter mass in her abdomen and is undergoing treatment at BC Children's Hospital on the Lower Mainland. Since being back on the island, Hannah's family says the support has been remarkable.
Your close group of friends and your family are basically where your support lies, and then something like this happens, and it really opens your eyes to see how the community will come together for other people when they need it. And it really makes us feel really good about it.
The Car Wash and Barbecue is the latest effort in what has been a string of fundraising events to help Hannah's parents deal with the cost of traveling to Vancouver to be by their daughter's side. Well, nearly 3 weeks after the Summer Games wrapped up in London, the good news continues to trickle in from overseas. Wheelchair sprinter and Nanoose Bay native Michelle Stilwell took home gold today in the 200 meters of the Paralympics. Stilwell defended her Paralympic title today, capturing the gold medal. The 38-year-old set a games record of 33.8 seconds in the T52 event for quadriplegics. Stilwell is going for gold again next week in the 100-meter race. Good to see. All the best to Michelle Stilwell. Well, before we take a look at weather, sky gazers had a rare treat last night. A blue moon. You see it there in this photo sent to us. Don't be sad. This is not exactly the blue moon most people expect. The disputed definition of a blue moon is simply the second full moon in a given month. Astronomers at UVic say there will be 6 blue moons between 2009 and 2015. Well, it's been a long, choppy road for a Powell River family, but finally there is some smooth sailing ahead. For nearly a decade, the Mohans have been working to restore Carlotta, a 50-foot wooden boat that dates back to the 19th century. Last November, the work on the vessel was nearly done when the family received the news their son Jasper had brain cancer. The family's focus shifted instantly, and Carlotta was put on hold. But today, things are much better, and the family and the boat are forging ahead. From afar, it doesn't stand out, but get a little closer and you'll see the black Carlotta is worth the photo. On board and down below, you'll find the ship's greatest ambassador, 14-year-old Jasper, sailing buff, history enthusiast.
We know for a fact that Churchill's cousin sailed on this boat. It's been owned by various lords and ladies, and once in heavy weather, a porpoise swam over the deck of the boat.
For Jasper and his parents, Barbara and Stephen, life aboard Carlotta is good. It's where they want to live and where they were living until last year when life got in the way.
We had just moved aboard the boat and then we've been living aboard for a couple of months when we found out our son was very ill.
Jasper had a brain tumor, forcing the family to move to Vancouver, where Jasper underwent cancer treatment at the Ronald McDonald House.
I spent a lot of time in hospital sick to my stomach, and it just wasn't very fun. It was actually a real relief to get back to the boat.
Carlotta was home, an impressive home that the trio spent years building together. Now, with Jasper successfully through treatment, the three are back.
Despite all of the work in the project, she is a crack sailing ship. She goes really fast and handles really well, and she feels really safe.
It will take some time before Jasper fully heals, and doctors say he can live aboard the ship. Until then, the family is living on land. And when the 35th annual Classic Boat Festival wraps up, the family will move on to its next chapter, offering sailing lessons on Carlotta.
Oh, well, I know it's not everybody's first choice thing to do, but I think that everybody should at least give it a try and see if sailing is the sort of thing that they'd like to get into, because for some people it's just amazing, really.
It's a rare chance to sail aboard a rare boat. But what's more, it's an opportunity to learn from a family that knows a thing or two about the challenges of sailing and life. A little less volume changing, I guess. We will finish up tonight in the city of Courtenay, which is giving new meaning to the phrase, the dog days of summer. People hoping to go for a dip in the city's pool today ran into a bit of a roadblock. For one day only, canines ruled the waters in an annual tradition that is growing in popularity. CTV's Greg Aspa has an inside look now at a day for the dogs.
Many are reluctant, while others dive right in. And no matter what their size or temperament, canines of all sorts were here at Courtenay's Memorial Pool today.
Main reason, just to let the dogs have some fun in the pools, and the donations go to the SPCA, so we're helping out the SPCA, and the dogs get to have a great time. It's the last day we're open, so it's just a lot of fun.
The event is the 5th annual Poochapalooza, where dogs rule the pool. There are some humans allowed, but their summer of using the pool finished yesterday. Today, it's gone to the dogs.
It's just getting the dogs here at the pool all together. It's madhouse. But, you know, I think, look around. Everyone's smiling, everyone's wet. The dogs are happy.
Dogs are just like kids. When they can't do something, they really want to do it. Dogs always want to go in the pool, and they're always told no. This is one day when the dogs can do anything they want in the pool.
The yearly event is something the dogs and even their owners look forward to.
Oh, it's just a lot of fun when you can interact with your animal that way. You know, you can kind of bond with them, and it's good for them and good for me. Gets me off the couch, some exercise. Yeah, this is a great activity.
This pet owner even made the trip over from the Lower Mainland after hearing about the event.
Usually there's signs in Vancouver parks saying get your dog out of the park. And Moose loves to swim and tennis balls, so I thought it'd be a great reason to come to the island for the weekend.
Even people without dogs were here just to take in the sights and the sounds.
I love every minute of it. It's great to see the dogs, and they should do it more often. They should have a pool every day for the dogs.
Admission for the doggy dip is by donation to the SPCA, although there were some donations that weren't really solicited.
We're finding a little bit of chewed up treats and then have been spat back out. And apparently some fur balls in the pool.
And yes, there is a lot of dog hair left behind, but the staff don't mind. It'll all be cleared out, and it's for a good cause.
For the last few years, we've raised just around $500 each year, so hoping to exceed that this year.
And as they shake off a successful day behind them, participants will look forward to doing it all again next year. Greg Aspa, CTV News, Courtenay.